During the process of your divorce, you may have heard your attorney mention something to you about a QDRO. A QDRO stands for a Qualified Domestic Relations Order. So that is a order that is usually signed in conjunction with your final decree or shortly thereafter. It's kind of what we consider one of the dangling ends left of a divorce. So let's talk about that today. So a QDRO is short for Qualified Domestic Relations Order. And what that is, it's an order that gets signed by the judge and it gets sent to the plan administrator of a retirement account. They kind of came about due to what's called ERISA. That's short for Employee Retirement Income Security Act of 1974. That's a federal law that allowed states to divide retirement accounts during a divorce. Now there's two types of an accounts that a QDRO is necessary for. One is called a defined contribution account, and those could be your 401ks, your 403bs, your 457as. The other type of account are your defined benefit accounts. So that would be like your pension accounts. If you're a teacher, your teacher retirement account. If you work for the state of Texas, it could be your TMRS account. So a QDRO would get sent to these plan administrators of these accounts, and it would order that plan administrator to remove your awarded portion per the final decree out of that account and either give it to you directly or set you up a separate account to hold that money into until you decide what you want to do with those funds. If it's a pension account, payments on that pension account, if you're the alternate payee, would not start until the participant or the employee decides to retire. Now, that's on probably 99% of plans, but on some plans, you'll find that there's sometimes somebody's like, well, I'm 65, but I really don't feel like retiring yet, so I'm just going to keep working. That does not mean that you have to wait to get your funds. You can start taking your funds out of a pension plan once that participant turns that retirement age. For a defined contribution plan, which again is like your 401k type plans, you can get those funds immediately. So you'll see a lot of times in divorces, the easiest way to get quick cash out of your divorce is to be awarded a portion of a defined contribution plan. That way you can get those funds out immediately. So in a 401k or defined contribution plan, there are some things that you need to know about that. One, if you do decide to cash those funds out, you are responsible for the taxes out of that. Because that is now your separate property, if you make the decision to pull those funds out of your 401k account, then you are responsible for the taxes on that. If you decide to roll that over into like an IRA or some other already established account that you have that allows rollovers, then you usually avoid the taxes on those. But I would definitely talk to your CPA or whoever your money advisor is on the best thing to do with your funds from that 401k account. Most plan administrators, when you pull funds out of a 401k, they charge you early withdrawal penalties and fees. When you're pulling those funds because of a QDRO, you do get a one-time penalty-free withdrawal. Say you got $100,000 out of your ex's 401k account. They're going to put it into a separate account for you, and you decide, hey, I'm going to pull out $50,000 just to kind of get myself reestablished, put a down payment on a house, buy new furniture, whatever you need to do. That is your one-time penalty-free withdrawal. So if you leave that other $50,000 in there and you decide a year later, hey, I'm going to pull that out, well, at that point, they're going to charge you your penalties for that. And of course, again, you're always going to have to pay the taxes on it. So QDROs are important in a divorce because a lot of times the funds that somebody's getting out of these retirement accounts are funds that they're going to use to basically reestablish themselves. So there's a lot of times that I get pro se clients coming to me to do their QDRO because there's a lot of attorneys in Texas that don't mess with those. They don't want to do them. We here at Varghese Summersett pride ourselves on the fact that we do have our own QDRO department requirements. So we actually handle QDROs for attorneys all over the state of Texas. So I've even done QDROs for people that are in Canada and some other states too. I've done some out of Colorado, California, Washington, Florida. So because it falls under ERISA, the QDROs are something that I can do here in Texas that would be held up in a different state. Sometimes in the process of a divorce, I get a call from a client and they'll say, well, my wife was awarded, such and such amount out of my retirement account. And I think the best thing for me to do would just be to call my plan administrator and have them just cut her a check and send her a check. And I'm always like, whoa, do not do that. That is a terrible idea for you. One, if you do that, you're going to have to pay the early withdrawal penalties and fees. And number two, you're going to have to be responsible for the taxes. You always want to have your account divided because of a divorce. You want to have it divided via a QDRO. So if you're in need of a QDRO because you've done your divorce yourself or because your attorney has simply told you, hey, I don't handle QDROs, please be sure and call us here at Varghese Summersett. I would be more than happy to help you with your QDRO process. I try and make it as easy as possible. We just have this one little form that we need you to fill out. When you fill out that form, it's super important that you put your full social, date of birth, and I am going to need the full address. I know during the divorce process, a lot of people move and have different addresses, but it's very important to have that. So another thing when filling out the form, it's super important to give me as much information about the plan as you can. So ideally, I would love to see like a statement from that plan, but if you're not able to get that, don't worry. We'll get through the process. We'll figure it out. I've never let anybody down. We always get it done. If you or somebody you know has a need for a family law attorney or has a family law situation, we would love to help. Please call us at 817-900-3220.